Hi guys, so back to another day in the life. I'm free today. Basically, I just got a call from some establishment that wants to have me do some of their work, and they want me to go install some tile material on some staircase for like a vehicle servicing center. But this is the reward you get for being free from the 9 to 5. Is you wake up on certain days and you're not that busy, and you know I could go do some deliveries or drive ride share or something just to meet a quota of $100 or $200 every day. The goal is to make at least $200 a day, because if you times that by 30 days, you're what, 6K, which is pretty much enough to keep you going if you have a mortgage, rent, car notes, insurance, all this stuff, and food. I mean, it mainly goes to living expenses, right? But yeah, that was my motion detection lights I installed myself. And the good thing about being a handyman is, you can upgrade stuff in your own house by yourself, which saves money. Like I fixed a toilet, I installed light switches, I can control with voice commands and stuff. And yeah, about my day, today's a good day. I got a call from, well, I mistakenly called this lady that I had on my list. Now, that's another thing, is I have this long list of clients on my phone that, from time to time, I probably should be like contacting or sending text messages, letting them know that I exist, and if they have a project, they could just like, hey, yeah, that's right, I have this project for you. But here is it. I was about to call a friend of mine called Richard, and I mistakenly hit a wrong contact and called this lady called Rico. And funny enough, she called me back because it was like a pocket dial, and I canceled the call before I went through it. She was like, hey, it's good you called because I have my camera set up and there's something wrong. I need a battery replaced and I can't get up there and get it. So I need you to come out there. Now that is like a quick dash out there, and I charge a minimum fee of like $65 or something, a minimum service charge, and I had a very easy furniture assembly last night, after I finished like my day's rounds of going to just pick up my check and assemble one desk for Wayfair. And I got paid more for the little filing cabinet that I assembled, which was like basically pretty much put together already. And the minimum charge was like $65. And the desk was way more work than that. Imagine that. But it just added up to making that $100 or $200 a day quota. And of course, I picked up my $1,136 check for the 4-hour job that I did, which was literally just unmounting 8 glass boards, right? The lady who helped me lift the glass boards downstairs shattered one of them. She just kind of just dropped it because the company had one of their staff, female staff, assist me in moving them. Now, the moving was an extra optional thing, which, they asked me to do, which I charged like, what, $250 for, was just to move the glass boards from their offices upstairs and put it in the back of my truck and deliver it to the next building, which was like adjacent to their old office building. It was really tough. I actually got some injuries though. Like, the what you call it, the glass boards were so heavy and stuck in the that's my Gibson right there. I love this guitar. Okay. So yeah, that's just random. So the glass boards were really heavy and I literally couldn't even get them off. And trust me, guys, when I get to points like that and I just think about the money, and I actually pray to God. I pray and say, God, help me get this job done. Okay. Of course, I do have to get the skill set, in place, but it's just tough because, I bruised my shoulder because even though I had the glass suction cups and everything, placed them on the glass boards, they wouldn't budge because they've been on there so long that it wouldn't budge. And so I had to like use my shoulders to push it up, to nudge it up a little bit, to just kind of free it up before I could take them off the walls. And yeah, I literally got about 4 of them down in less than an hour. But the other 4 were like a pain in the butt. They wouldn't come off the wall. And there was one super huge one that, couldn't be lifted by one person. I was just one person doing the job. So, there was this staff in the building who kind of helped me take it down. But I had to like actually get it freed up from the mounts. And yes, I do sustain injuries sometimes on the job, but it's still worth it, because it beats sustaining injuries in a warehouse job where I'm being paid even if $20 an hour, and I have to forfeit break lunches and all that kind of stuff. Especially during the pandemic when a lot of people were laid off and they were short staffed, and they had the less paid staff remain on the plant floor, remain in station and do most of the work, which was ridiculously hard. And yeah, I knew if I continue that way, I'd probably just die eventually. And then there's all these guys who didn't like me on the job, messing with me every time and trying to make me feel bad. And it's just ridiculous working, with people sometimes. And it's like people got all these attitudes and characters that you have to deal with. This company I worked for had ex-cons, a lot of ex-cons on the floor, with tattoos, like massive tattoos. I was in like a face-off movie kind of situation where, I've never been arrested before or anything. I'm totally legal. Like everything is awesome for me. And I'm just like on the floor with all these hardcore guys who've been to correctional facilities. And I've had all these criminal cases and stuff in their history. And it's just stressful, and some of them passing racist comments on and stuff. Like one guy looked at me one day and asked me to go wash his vehicle, like, dude, but yeah, I used to see all those things as jokes because where I'm from, we're very hospitable and we treat people with respect, But one time a guy was like, asked me why black people so lazy. And I was like, I don't know. Maybe it's because we've been working for 400 years, enslaving and hammering and picking cotton and all that for all these years. So, we're tired. We're tired. And when people are tired, they tend to kind of act like we're lazy, but we're not lazy. We built the country. So yes, that was my experience in the workforce. Imagine that. But here I am now, wake up in the morning and make my cup. So I'm the ginger tea guy. And I just love ginger tea every morning. I think ginger is an antibiotic. And if you, develop a habit of drinking ginger in the morning for tea with, honey, just make the hot water cool off a bit after you've kind of brewed the ginger and add some honey. And, I drink ginger tea every morning and it makes me feel good. And literally when I started drinking tea a lot, I've never fallen ill. And of course my diet is more raw food and vegetables and, a vegetarian kind of diet. And so, yes, it's a lovely day. I spoke to the lady who said I should come and check out her camera stuff. So I kind of scheduled it for later in the day. And I'm just home alone and I got some stuff to do on my computer in the office. I got a call right now from a lady who wants me to do some other work somewhere in Flower Mound, and their terms sucked. Like they have a net 30 policy where they pay pros to go do work and buy materials with their own money and get the job done and have to wait 30 days before they get paid. Now, I was like, I just wrote a nice email, used ChatGPT, responded a nice email and told them, hey, I appreciate the opportunity and everything, but I'm sorry. I cannot fall for that. I'm not going to be working and waiting 30 days. This is not a salary situation here, okay? Like, I'm used to getting paid immediately after I'm done working, okay? I need my money now. And yeah, I thought she was going to say, okay, well then, adios. But she actually said, okay, well, we're gonna see what we can do. Maybe we can get the accountant to pay you, ACH, like just, if you have a credit card, you can buy the material and everything and do the work and just tell us how much you want and we'll cut you a check. So I was like, okay, send me the email. I'll go through it again and I'll go out there and check the job. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, you want me to drive all the way out, go have a look at the job, give you an estimate, an invoice, whatever it is, my W-9, and you're going to pay me 30 days later. Like, I'm investing in your business. What about my business? I invest in my business, So that's the thing about it. Some people would like to take advantage of you. Yes, you're an independent contractor, but I don't do that. I like to get paid immediately. Even this check I got yesterday, they were like, can we mail it to you? I was like, no, I was told I would be getting my money that day. The last time I worked for you guys, you paid me on the spot. So, I'm willing to wait, and this was after I contacted them on the group chat the next day that, hey, I submitted my invoice and let me know if you received it, confirm. And then she confirmed and said they could mail me the check. I was like, no, I don't mind driving out to wherever you guys are. If you're out of your office because your office is being closed down because you're moving to another building and your accountant is working from home. Well, they suggested, that I go pick up the check from his home, which was miles away. But luckily for me, I was working in South Lake and this dude's house was in Grapevine, which was like 8 miles away. So all things work together for good for those who love God. Okay. And I do love God because I am him. He lives in me. Okay. That's one thing people got to remember is, your imagination is the God within you. Okay. Where else can you make things that don't exist appear as though they were? Because this is a biblical thing, right? He makes things that are not, or things that don't exist, appear. It can only appear in your imagination because you can't just let a Cybertruck just appear by snapping your fingers. Like, I don't know any magician who does that, right? But you can let it appear in your mind because like right now I see myself driving a Cybertruck with my company logo. And guys, this is the new thing, is the vision. Is like we're about to get the Cybertruck. We're going to trade into Colorado for the Cybertruck, and I need y'all to hit the like button, subscribe, and let's go get it, okay? I want y'all to watch me on this journey as I'm accomplishing these tasks, okay? The Cybertruck is going to be coming, SmartInstallers logo with the company name branded on it, and we're going to be going out there, and hey, it's going to be catchy. That's a good catchy, plus the whole idea is, to get a truck with a 8 foot by 4 foot square flatbed, because like I said, I had to load these glass boards in the truck, and the tire well, the wheel wells were sticking out, and it was hard like to put a square object in between those. And that's the thing. So that truck, which doesn't use gas or oil, right? Imagine how convenient that's going to be. It's going to be saving money, right? It's going to save me a lot of money because I wouldn't have to, look how empty this room is. Hello? See, it's echoing. It's like nobody lives here anymore. It's just me. Oh my God. I miss my son. This was his room. Yeah. Relationship these days is just, I don't know. It's like, I tried. I did everything I could. Like, what do you want? And then, yeah. Anyway, that just goes to say, like, people are depressed in America with all the money and everything people be making, right? They're still depressed. Now, I hope this guy didn't leave this window open. Why is it so cold in here? It almost feels like the windows are open. So yeah, this is a day in the life. I have this. So this is another pro about being a Wayfair service pro is sometimes I go out to assemble furniture and there's a damage, and Wayfair will be like, hey, tell the customer, just dump it, we'll send you another one. And so the customer gives me the pieces. This just had one little rail that was missing, like a rail like this. Okay, a rail like this thing on the edge here or glide, whatever you want to call it, for the drawers to slide on was missing in the box. And I put in a report, and then they had the customer, or they sent the customer another one, a brand new one, and that made him give me the old one because he didn't know how I actually, can I dispose it off? And then yeah, he was like, cool. So I got a free dresser. It's a 9-drawer dresser, which I'm gonna put together for my offspring. And then this was also another dresser I got from a is it a paraplegic or whatever it is, some guy who was kind of sick, and I went to assemble his furniture in his house, and it was damaged, and they sent me to put together another one. The damage is just like a little chip on the thing. So I got this dresser for free. I got that bed for free because it was this rich dude's house I go to build some furniture in, and he's like, his daughter doesn't want this bed anymore, and he got another one that looks pretty much just the same. And he was like, can you dispose it off for me? I was like, hell yeah, I can dispose it off. So I took it. Heaven, yeah. So I took it, and I got a free bed. That's also a bookshelf. It might not be the choice of furniture you would want to, but hey, I'm a man. I don't really care too much as long as it serves the purpose. And of course, the decor is not bad. I like gold and glass. It's gold and glass. It's a bookcase or bookshelf. I gave it to my daughter. She doesn't live here anymore. She lives with my sister in Iowa. So yeah, this is the day in the life of a business owner. You got to own your own business, guys. Own your own business. You can make it happen. It's hard. It's a leap of faith, because when I was tied to the paycheck, the monthly paycheck, or the weekly or bi-weekly paycheck, I was so scared. I had no idea how I'm going to survive without this paycheck, right? Coming from, this company that owned this warehouse that I was working at. And actually, I had to get another job because I was tired of working for these guys, and it was a little bit more pay. But it's all the will of God, because you know what happened? Once I got the job, it was a field service technician for a water softening company. They sold water softeners equipment, right? And so I go work for these guys for 1 month, just 1 month. And then they laid us off, saying that they didn't have clients anymore because of the pandemic and blah, blah, blah. That was in 2020. And so after 1 month, I was on the street. But before all that happened, I needed to do 2 jobs to survive, of course, because everybody in America these days have to work 2 jobs. So especially if you're not like a 6-figure earner. So I had to do 2 jobs. And the second job was to either drive for Uber or do Amazon Flex, which is delivering packages and stuff, which sucked, especially when I don't get it why people living on the 3rd or 4th floor would be up there ordering packets of water, and then you expect somebody to carry your water all the way up there. I don't know, I wouldn't do that to people. I have a house. If I ordered a crate of drinks or water, I know that's heavy. Liquid is heavy, right? You just have to deliver it from your trunk to my doorstep. But if you're in an apartment, don't order crates of water, 5-6 crates of water, and expect somebody, I know, welcome to slavery, right? But and then most of those people don't even tip. That's the thing about it. They won't tip you. So yeah, I was doing Amazon Flex. Let me check if this thing's recording. Yep. 4K 60, guys. So I was doing Amazon Flex on the side, and I'm a technician, right? I used to buy cars sight unseen. Now, if you check out my Ras Rebuilds channel, you notice I started a channel trying to sell cars and buy cars off of Copart and everything sight unseen. So one day I got this van that I got for $600 on the auction, and out the door it added up to about $1,300. Okay, and I fixed it right here in my garage. I changed the fender, changed a couple of things, little minor things, but all in all, the cost of repairs and everything ended up being about $300 or something. So total came to like 1,600 or 1,700, whatever it is. Now, mind you, I was making $850 a week using that van, which was a 2000 Mazda MPV, right? And I was making $850 a week, grinding it out, using it for Amazon Flex. It was a gas guzzler though, so you take out your gas and everything, and you're looking at what, 700 maybe. But yeah, I was doing that also, and then finally, I had a friend who needed help, and I flipped it for $1,700 because I just wanted to help him. I could have got more, but I gave it to him for $1,700. This dude just messed up the ride, but that's how I was surviving. So doing this was after I quit the job though, but like during the time I was employed, I was doing gig work on the side to supplement the income, because I had to make at least 4 or 5K a month. And my paycheck at that time was only 2,400 or 2,500 a month. Unless I do overtime, which means standing on your feet in this noisy ass warehouse, damaging my eardrums. That, of course, I needed my eardrums for my music. Oh God. So I was in such a dilemma. It was like, oh my God, earplugs weren't working, because every time I came home and people talked to me, I'll be like, what? And they'd be like, why is the TV so loud? I was damaging my eardrums, and my eyes were messing up because I had to be welding and stuff, and it all takes a toll on your body, So long story short, I had to be doing gig work on the side. And so once I got laid off, I was like, all right. As soon as I left the job that day, I just turned my Amazon Flex app on. Coming to think of Amazon Flex, I haven't done it in such a long time. It's been almost 2 years, because I kind of got burned out doing all these side hustles. And I think they even actually deactivated my account. But who knows if I'll ever do that again at this point. So yeah, I was doing the gig work and everything on the side. And what happened? Once I got laid off, I had to go full-time gig worker, and that's where it all started. So like I would do Amazon deliveries in the morning, and I would go drop off people to the airport with Uber, come back, go do Amazon deliveries. And then there was the Spark Driver app thing that popped up. So, on one of my Uber days, I met this dude who was like asking me what I did for a living. And I was like, hey, I'm a technician. I used to work as a maintenance tech, doing all this stuff. I'm a musician, trying to get by, but you can't make money off of music when you're not famous, or people don't come to your studio. Like I wanted to record people in my studio, which was a good opportunity to make money. But yeah, the woman I was with was like, no, you can't let people in our home, and blah blah blah, and rare and things. So I was like, okay, I'll just do it for myself. And so that, yeah, only good friends of mine who were willing to pay me for studio time, which I preferred, because hey, nothing beats being in the studio doing what you love and getting paid for it, right? Because I didn't mind that it wasn't my music I was doing. I was always gotten paid. I've always gotten paid doing people's music. That was how I actually got into production and everything, because I used to rap and sing and stuff. And then when I would go spend all this money in a studio to get a record, I kind of just figured, hey, I'm an intelligent guy. I could do what this guy is doing. I could also program my own music instead of having to pay this guy $4,000 or $5,000 to make an album at that time. That was like in 2003. I'd rather use the money to buy a computer and all that stuff, and kind of do it in my bedroom. So I started with a Pentium 3, or Pentium 2 actually. Intel Pentium 2 computer with Fruity Loops and Cubase and all that stuff. I even have some of all those works still sitting down in my computer. And yeah, that was how I got into sound engineering and everything. That took a lot of time. And eventually, I wasn't even that good, but I would have, other artists who are hustling and everything come to me and say, hey, can you record me? I have radio presenters collaborating with me to get young artists who wanted to get their records out, use my garage that I had converted into a music studio way back in Africa as a recording studio to record new artists and stuff. So I was making some change from recording people, and I thought I could do that here too. But the United States is a different place. It's a whole different ball game. So I prefer just working up doing other things that, was a necessity, and doing the music during my free time. Okay. And quitting my job gave me the opportunity to actually be able to do music intermittently, but like at good intervals, because when you're in a warehouse working 8 hours a day, you never have time like this to yourself. Like, you'll be so burned out and exhausted by the end of the day. There were times I would come, and I had to go to college. Like, I went to Tarrant County College, studied robotics and automation and stuff like that. And I would have to go to school right after work, which is like, I get off at 4 o'clock if I don't have overtime, and I have to be on campus by 4:30. Then I would stay in class till 7 or 8:30 or 9, drive 30 miles back home. In the homework, I was studying robotics, so it was like a whole lot of math. And I would stay up till midnight, 1 a.m., and then go to bed and wake up at 5 to go back to work. So that cycle even made me sick. And that was when I made the decision that, hey, you know what? At the end of the day, I would end up doing something that I don't really like, which is not what I want to do. So let me sign up for the Los Angeles Film School, do the online course, and I would get to be at home and still go to work. And that was how I did it. And I was able to graduate. Now, here's the catch. So, being an independent contractor, this guy I met in the Uber ride was like, there are apps out there that, as a maintenance technician, you could still get jobs to do. So that was when I signed up for. And I was like, I had already heard about it. I had just hadn't taken the step to sign up. So I signed up for Handy, which was back then the Handyman app. I signed up for Handy. I signed up for TaskRabbit, and they were paying the lowest rates you could think of. But I was like, hey, I had tools, I had equipment from being a maintenance technician. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. I joined Handy and started getting jobs, picking up, daily jobs on Handy. And I would go out there and assemble Wayfair furniture. I would go out there, do plumbing, electrical, install fans, all kinds of stuff. And Handy was making all the money, basically. But the cons and the pro of that was I was still getting to be my own boss. Now, I've had the weirdest experiences. Like, I've been to some Caucasian man's home, and it smelled like he had buried somebody in the backyard. The backyard was like a freaking graveyard. He had all these stone statues of cupids wearing pearl necklaces. He had a cross of Jesus in a cage. He had like elements of antiquity in his home that looked like it. The house was so creepy. It was like, I wish I could post some photos from that incident, but I don't want to post somebody's private. But I had to take photos because it was so weird. The weirdest thing ever. I even was like, hey, dude, is this home like for horror movies or something? I was trying not to be scared. The home felt like it was haunted, because I was working in the kitchen, and then the television would just turn on like behind me in the wall, in the little game room or whatever it is. Now, the house was old, and he was working in another secluded part of the home. And this guy had an Uoja or Umoja board, that thing that you used to talk to the spirits and the dead and everything. And he had skulls and stuff. And I was in this house with this dude all alone. And Angie or Handy sent me out there to work. Now, I was like, if this dude tries anything, man, I have my drill as my weapon. I'm going to drill his skull with it, because that, I'm not going to, hey, nobody's effing with me like that. So I had to install some light switches in his backyard, or some kind of outlets in his backyard that was like, sticking out the ground. And the whole place had bush this way. And I just felt like somebody was behind me the whole time while I was working. But when I turned, there was nobody. So either the home was haunted, or he was just trying to spook me and make fun of it. And guess what this dude does? He locks me out in the backyard, and there's this big hedge on the fence that makes it impossible to leave the back graveyard looking kind of yard, And so I went and I texted him. I was like, dude, you locked me out. And then he wasn't responding, and I banged on the door. Like, it was the creepiest thing. And then he comes and he apologizes and said, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it and everything. So he opens the door, I get back in, and I go finish my work, and I install some lights. And the smell in this house, and he had like a bloodhound in one of the rooms. He said his wife was in the room. but she's not well. She has some, wires torn up there, and she's in the bedroom. But it sounded like a werewolf in the bedroom. And he said that was his dog. So anyway, that was just an experience working as a handyman. Now, those are some of the cons, joining these apps, right? Because they send you out to some weird ass boondocks area to go work for somebody who requested the service, and you don't know what you're getting into, and yeah, so that even made me realize I need to stay strapped, because yeah, I got a 3080 or 9mm or whatever it is, and it's like that just makes me realize, okay, when I'm going out to do jobs for unknown people or unknown locations, I need to be strapped in case somebody. And of course, I tell people where I'm at, like, hey, like that day I called home, I was like, look, I'm in this neighborhood and this is the weirdest thing ever, but the place looks scary, and so just in case I don't come, this is the address, okay? Just in case something happens to me, this was my last known location, and yeah, so I joined these apps and started gig working as a handyman, because the Uber was scary too. You like driving for Uber was scary because they can send you out to the thickest traffic area, and once I dropped off this passenger on my way back, some guy flips his vehicle upside down, climbs the wall that separates the highway, and some assaults his car in front of me, and all the debris kind of like go into my vehicle. Like I kind of just drove through the debris, try to avoid a collision, but in the process, my brand new car had all these dings on it. It was at that time I was driving the Sorrento because that's what I bought it for. So, and it was a 1 month old car. Like imagine that. And then all my glass windshield and glass portion of the glass roof got smashed with all these little gravel and chippings that flew out of his car because he was driving a work truck. And yeah, Uber's insurance didn't cover that. Bill was like almost 6K. I had a high deductible of like $2,000 or $1,500 or something. So I had to come out of my pocket. So I was like, this is not a good venture. If you make $4,000 and you get into some kind of accident that doesn't even total your vehicle, you still have to pay $1,400 or $1,500 out of your paycheck that you just made. And so I was like, yeah, I'd rather be doing gig work that doesn't involve me driving my car the whole time. Like with furniture assembly and all these handyman jobs, you just drive to the location where the job is and park your vehicle. So at least it's not racking up additional miles, and you're in there doing the job and you still get paid, and you can leave after that and all that stuff, the whole nine. So I saw that the Uber business model was just another ripoff, a scam, and it's kind of like a loan they're giving you, and eventually you have to pay it back or buy another vehicle with the same money you earned. So it's a temporal thing just to keep you going, or just to supplement whatever it is that you're making, right? Now, to talk about streams and stuff, it all involves promotion. You have to pay for the service for DistroKid or whatever it is. Like you're just barely making any money because streams don't really pay. You have to do shows if you want to be an artist. And when you're my age with all these responsibilities, I have 3 kids, all that stuff, like forget it. It's like, yeah, you're just doing it because you love doing it and it makes you happy. That's one thing. You have to do what makes you happy. First of all, your happiness, your satisfaction is important. And if God blesses and it pays the bills also, thumbs up to you, But yeah, one of the reasons why I did it was because I needed to learn how to finalize my music, because it made no sense to do the music half-ass and halfway and then just let it be sitting on your computer. So graduating helped me a lot. And like I said, I'm planning on going back to actually do the audio, course. Maybe that might help me get a job as a audio technician or something, or a sound engineer in a studio. But those jobs out here in Texas are not a lot, that I can tell you. And you always have to be like online searching for jobs every single day, and that takes time. Like people got lives to live. So yeah, that's it for today. My day is gonna be easy actually, because I'm just probably going to be doing some driving. And if I'm up to it, besides I have to cook, and I'm just going to let my iRobot vacuum up the place and sweep up the place for me. It's a good day. And I don't have to use my AK. I don't have an AK, I'm just messing with you. So, yes, a day in the life, guys. Awesome day. I'm feeling so cool, drinking my tea, my coffee in the morning. It's almost 10 o'clock and I don't have to report to nobody. People call me, like, this is the shit, if you ask me, okay? Be content. You don't have to become a millionaire overnight, unless, of course, you bought Shiba Inu or Dogecoin when it was, 0.0000002 cents, right? And you bought $2,000 or $100,000 or $10,000 of it, and it went to $30 or 30 cents. Then yes, you can become an overnight millionaire, but it all has to do with planning. Now back to the crypto. It's about to skyrocket. Look, guys, by the end of this year, okay, crypto holders are going to be seeing some gains. Trust me, because we're in a bull market. This is an uptrend and the cycle hasn't yet topped out. So like I said, I'm going to post links to my Coinbase. Coinbase is one of the safest places to start. Robinhood is also a good place to start. Now, Black people especially, like, y'all need to start investing and putting some money aside for your future, okay? The banks aren't helping. Now, Trump just signed a executive order that actually allows the banks to custode or to be to actually be custodians of crypto. So who knows it? If you have some Bitcoin, you have some crypto, the bank accepts it, you will be, I'm sure it's just going to be Bitcoin though, for starters. So the banks are going to start selling crypto to us. Like, no joke. This is like the year of crypto, okay? Because you got a crypto president, and don't take it for granted, guys. Sign up, share the link. I'm gonna put my Tesla reward, Tesla referral code also, because I got a Tesla, and anybody who wants to buy a Tesla, guys, the prices have dropped. This is the best time to own a Tesla. I mean, who wouldn't want? I've owned one since 2021, and I haven't done anything to the vehicle. The vehicle is running smoothly. All I've done is change 2 rear wheels because I kept flooring. I was so into this instant torque thing that I just couldn't help myself. And, my rear wheels kind of got worn out a bit. So I had to replace those. But that's the only thing I've done on the vehicle is change the rear tires and the wiper blades in 5 years or 4 years or something. Like, think about it. I used to have a Ford Edge and I had to change oil. I had to do this, that, brakes, that, blah. The brakes don't even freaking wear out. Like, what else do you want? Okay. And it's a vehicle. Like, how many years do gas powered cars last anyway? And so if you can have a vehicle, and hey, their mission statement is to make sure you get bang for your bucks. So you can't go out there and buy a $40,000 vehicle and then every 5,000 miles you have to go spend $200-$300. Like, I just bought this Chevy Colorado, brand new vehicle, right? I took it out there for 15,000 miles service, and they're telling me, oh, you need to pay us $350 to do a injector and some kind of clean out of your cylinders because there's a lot of carbon deposits. Like, are they for real? Why would you do that? Why would you build a car that's gonna need a $300 service in addition to the oil change, right? In addition to air filters and cabin air cleaners and everything. Like, so every time I take the vehicle to service, I have to expect a bigger bill. Okay. Now here's a vehicle I've used for 4 or 5 years, and I haven't even spent any of that except the price of the vehicle. And maybe I subscribe for full self-driving for the vehicle to take me wherever I want. Like, the car has gotten better. It has gotten better. That's why I want to go fully electric. I just feel like I need at least one gas-powered car in the house, like a hybrid or something. And it's because even when I bought those vehicles, all vehicles weren't electric. But that's the thing. So I'm going to leave a referral in the description. Anybody who wants to get a new vehicle, get you a Tesla, okay? Tesla is the most reliable electric vehicle in the United States. Hands down, okay? I've had the best experience with the Tesla. And I assure you, at 40,000 miles on my Model 3 or 43,000 miles now, right? I haven't spent a dime on oil changes, on gas, especially. I don't go to gas stations when I'm driving that vehicle. I only go to chargers. And I don't even supercharge out there. I charge at home. And TXU gives me free charging overnight, so it doesn't reflect on my electric bill. Just imagine that. It's an incentive. They're incentivizing us, which I guess Trump is going to take all those things away. But hey, early adopters got to enjoy that. So like and subscribe if you like what I'm doing right now. Join the force, okay? If you want to set yourself free from the 9 to 5, I mean, hey, don't just go quit your job. Make sure you know what the heck you're doing before you do that, okay? And then, yeah. Comment on what you think is going on. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.